Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So a couple of things to cover here. First of all, continuing the coverage on this First4Figures Zuko, it's now up for pre-order. So as of a few days ago, it has gone up. So we have a look at all the different versions here. There's a definitive edition, which is the big crazy base version. That's quite expensive, $350. There's the exclusive edition for $220, which is the standard version, but with light up effects. And then there is the normal edition, which is $200. Straight away, my thoughts are that I expected, of course, the definitive edition to be expensive. Okay, exclusive edition, lights and effects, okay, that's going to be expensive. I was a little bit stunned by the price of the regular edition, because you can sort of see here, maybe my thing is blocking it a little bit, but the standard edition of say collector's edition of Toph is 85. This version of Aang is 110. So I struggle to see why this Zuko is vastly more expensive than like this Aang necessarily. I get it, like he is a taller character. There's maybe a little bit more effect stuff going on because he's got flames on his swords and stuff like that. So like there's a bit more sort of material involved here, but nearly double the price more, I'm not really sure. If you're a big Zuko collector, this is a very nice figure. So, you know, it's one of those ones where like it seems pretty good quality overall. You could see here, resin statue, limited edition numbering on it as well. It's a nice looking figure for sure. Not too much to say about it really that I haven't said already. The exclusive edition, like I said, has the kind of light up effect stuff going on here. LED light up functions on the flames, on the swords, and the base also has a limited edition numbering. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at the definitive edition just because it's got the crazy fire effect stuff going on here. I think it's cool. Is it so cool that I want to pay that much for just like an extra fire effect? That's what I'm not super sure about. You know, emitting large flames. It's nice. But you have to really want just that ultimate Zuko, I think, to want to drop the 350 for the big version here. But you know, if you do want to get it, pre-order it now when there is the kind of like promotion on where they give you like a code and stuff like that. But yeah, nice that they're doing more figures, but you know, it's always a little bit boring that it still feels like we're stuck with, you know, early ATLA kind of stuff for the most part. They're doing the obvious Zuko, but, you know, we'll see what they do going up next. This one is a bit more interesting. Good Smile company have announced that there's going to be a Nendoroid Zuko coming. So no further details, as you can see here. There's no picture of it. It's just, hey, Zuko is coming. Nendoroid, Good Smile company, they've announced it. So that's cool. I think the issue with this that I have is just that, one, we have to acknowledge that the last product that Good Smile company announced for Avatar never actually came out. So you can see here, they announced this pop-up parade Korra figure. So not a Nendoroid, but it's still from Good Smile company. They announced this pop-up parade Korra back in December 2021. This has never been released. There has never been a single other official post about this except this initial announcement. I'm assuming it just got cancelled at some point. I don't really know what the full situation is. It's weird because Good Smile company, their first Avatar thing was Nendoroid Korra, and that even got a re-release when the Aang came out. So, like, they've done Korra stuff. They're one of the few companies that has actually put out a, you know, kind of mass release Korra figure. Like the Nendoroids for Aang and Korra are very, very nice. But, you know, they've only done 2 products, obviously. And this would have been very cool because one of the things that if you are a kind of Korra collector, you'll probably note is that there's no reasonably priced Korra statue that's not like a chibified version, like a Nendoroid or something like that. If you want to get a kind of show accurate statue of Korra, you're looking at much more high-end stuff. Like there's nothing in that sort of like $50 to $100 range really. And then even I think the kind of cheapest one is one of the Dark Horse figures that came out years ago. You're going to have a very hard time getting that. The whole point of the Pop-Up Parade line is that it's meant to be that sort of good quality, kind of set price statue. And they never actually released it. Now look, I'm sure the Nendoroid's going to come out no problem. For Zuko, because it's an ATLA thing, you know, popular character and stuff like that. I don't really see any problem there, but it's sort of worth noting. Like, I do still want to know what happened to the Pop-Up Parade Korra. Just because, like, Nendoroids are cool, but it's also fair to say that they're very expensive for what they are. Sure, you get a lot of accessories, but the fundamental figure is just like a chibified figure that happens to have a bunch of accessories. And if you're not someone who really likes constantly picking up a figure, messing around with it, changing the parts, it might not be everything that you actually want overall. And so it is interesting that like it's kind of two Zuko figures happening as kind of like coming up next. But yeah, there isn't really any details on this in terms of like when it's actually coming out. I forget what the exact timescale was on like announcement of some of their other Avatar Nendoroids to release, but I'm guessing maybe later in the year we're going to find out something. Maybe we'll get the first pictures, because I'm guessing they probably want to time this so that it maybe releases in or around the Avatar hype towards the end of the year, start of next year, but something to look out for. I think Nendoroid Zuko is going to work pretty nicely. You could obviously tell that like they're going for the book 3 design. I can't see them really doing anything different. You're going to be able to do stuff like normal hands, hands with the swords. There'll be effect parts, like there bending effect parts like there were with some of the other characters. And it'll be interesting to see what like faces they give, or to kind of represent specific scenes. Other kind of accessories that he does come with, like what did they view as being the kind of essential Zuko accessories, will be interesting to see. But it is nice to see that this is kind of happening again, and if this does well for them with Avatar Studios kind of kicking off, it'd be nice to have Good Smile as like a Japanese company kind of like making stuff, so that maybe those pop-up parades come back on the table again, because I think that will be a very nice line of kind of statues for Avatar to have as well. Plus obviously we'd like to see more Nendoroids for other characters also, in that like I think a Katara Nendoroid will be kind of cool, but we have to wait and see. Last piece of news references something I covered in one of my last news updates. So the official Avatar YouTube channel, in my last video, I covered the idea that it's at username here, so at Avatar Legends, it got changed. But if you look at my video before, from last week, their channel name still said Avatar The Last Airbender, but as you can see now, it also says Avatar Legends here. So for anyone who is kind of maybe thinking that like, oh, it's just a bit of a random thing when they changed this, well, is it really super random when one week they changed the kind of underlying username and then the next week they changed the kind of really public channel name here, both to Avatar Legends? That's like two things happening. Clearly a want to begin this kind of rebranding process. Like you have to do sort of more official behind the scenes stuff with the channel to make this happen and like get verified and stuff like that. This is, you know, it's not huge news, but it's something. It is definitely something overall. It's hopefully a sign of the channel going in the right direction and us getting away from kind of some of the bad stuff that they keep putting up, like these kind of weird like just clips of the podcast and stuff like that. But it's not just this. Like it's one thing like, oh, the channel's just slightly rebranding, but we're beginning to find out other little bits and pieces as well. Like if we go over here to Blue Sky, so another social media platform, this was found that there is an avatarlegends.com account. And it's not just a random account that someone made, because it's verified as like on Blue Sky as at avatarlegends.com. Whereas just to highlight with my own account, you can see the way mine is. I have my kind of public name here, but my actual username is airspeedprime.bsky.social. On Blue Sky, that's what your sort of standard thing is if you just sign up through the standard website. But you're able to sort of verify your account to change your username if you have a website as a kind of verification style thing. So this Avatar Legends account has done that. Now, what does avatarlegends.com go to? As far as I'm aware, when I checked, it just redirects me to nick.com. So if I actually kind of go to it here, I get redirected to nick.co.uk because I'm in Ireland. But I did check this with a VPN to America, and it goes to nick.com. It doesn't go to like a specific avatar part of the website. It just redirects to nick.com. But it does highlight that, hey, Avatar Legends is this kind of domain name that they kind of have, and they might do something more specific with it in the future. And that's just something that's worth noting, that like, hey, they I don't think have an official Blue Sky, but now they have this. If Avatar Legends is finally getting going, and again, they've just done this, then all of a sudden this has been found. It feels like social media stuff is beginning to change, that there's something that's going to happen soon where they're going to relaunch the franchise and kind of really highlight that this is the Avatar Legends franchise. Aang is part of it. You're going to get this movie, but there's also other stuff happening. We're doing multiple projects set all across the Avatar universe, the various legends of the world of Avatar, hence Avatar Legends. So that's just an interesting thing. I will also highlight that I am on Blue Sky. I'm not moving away from Twitter. It's just I also have Blue Sky for anyone who maybe has navigated over there. So you can see my account is here. It's linked in the description on all my videos. I updated that like a while ago, but I never know how much I should promote a lot of my kind of social media stuff. I'm not really posting anything super unique here. It's mostly just links to my videos, and then if I do have more of a kind of piece of news that I find that's maybe not worthy of an immediate video, I'll maybe cross-post it on here as well. But just be aware of that if you do want to follow me on Blue Sky. But the other thing with Avatar Legends is maybe like the idea of what's the connection, if any, to the official Avatar Studios website. And again, the domain for this is avatarstudiosofficial.com. But if you go through it here, you'll note it's Explore Avatar Legends Heroes, and there is other mentions of Avatar Legends kind of constantly throughout the website. Explore the Avatar Legends timeline. Avatar Legends is definitely the franchise name that they're going with, so I'm almost wondering, like, is avatarlegends.com going to be a separate website? Is it going to be sort of like maybe the Nick website gets updated with a new Avatar section, and that's maybe what avatarlegends.com is? Will they change this website to be Avatar Legends and maybe move away from overly branding the new stuff with the studio name and pushing Avatar Legends forward? That might be the best way to go, just because I think there is a little bit of confusion about like Avatar Studios, Avatar Legends, and that sort of stuff, whereas I do think Avatar Legends is definitely what they want to use. So we still need to see improvements though, for sure. Like this website is not updated regularly enough to be the active website of a franchise. Like the last update was of course the update that added the timeline feature, but there's been nothing since then. Like they're still promoting the Reckoning of Roku. And I get it, they probably won't promote the Awakening of Roku until the cover gets revealed, but it gives you that sense that like they're still a little bit behind on some of this stuff. But at the same time, there hasn't been maybe that many pieces of big news, but there's also nowhere on the website where you can immediately tell that there is new content coming. You have to focus in on this overall to highlight that there is new stuff coming, and it's just briefly mentioned kind of here. And there's no section that goes into any level of detail on any of this stuff. So what does this all mean? It just means that stuff's happening in the background. They are slowly preparing a lot of their public-facing stuff to be different, to move away from, I think, what's been the sort of, I think, franchise since 2014, which is that it's the Avatar: The Last Airbender franchise, and Korra is also there, and we'll mention that occasionally. Avatar Studios is this kind of vague thing in the background, but none of it feels super connected or anything like that. There's now, I think, an effort being made to try and bring all this together under the same umbrella of get the wording right. The franchise is officially the Avatar Legends franchise. We have a studio specifically making Avatar content. That's Avatar Studios. They are making Avatar Legends content because it's going to cover multiple eras and not just only focused on Aang. And I think that's the best thing to do. The question really is about sort of like, when does this actually get made very, very public? That like, is there going to be an announcement about this at some point? Like, the only thing I could think of is if avatarlegends.com actually becomes a thing, the launch of whatever that is, maybe the rebranding of this website or a new website, that should be pretty important, because if you're committing to Avatar Legends being this big thing, you probably need to launch whatever it is with a certain amount of information on the new Avatar Legends projects, basically. So there's definitely a need for that overall, a more specific detail website. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. Gradual, slow steps in the background of the social medias changing to Avatar Legends, not just the YouTube, even on Blue Sky. And then some merchandise news. Are you interested in Nendoroid Zuko whenever it comes out? What happened to Pop-Up Parade Korra? And then what are your thoughts, I guess, mainly on the pricing for the First4Figures Zuko lineup here? But otherwise, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.